welcome back to A Million Voices podcast episode 3. So quick, before I introduce my guest today, fit check. So inspired by myself, I made this at the cottage with my friends. A hat because we went through this. I like hats and I just felt like wearing this one today. It's green. That's about it. Nothing too exciting today. So I have another one of my best friends on the pod today, Alessia. Hey. Aless, would you like to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name's
not that she had a choice. Continue.
Sure. So my name's Alessia. I'm 23 years old. I studied psychology for a few years, and then I just recently graduated from Seneca College with therapeutic recreation, and I'm very spiritual, and I'm also a certified yoga instructor.
So hit her up for your personal yoga lessons.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten them yet. Fun fact, I can't touch my toes. We need to work on that.
No way.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I can't. I legitimately cannot touch my toes. I don't want to do it on camera because that's embarrassing. But
okay, after this, we're going to stretch a little bit.
Stretch out. Okay. But you mentioned spirituality, which is a big fact because I can say like within my friend groups, we're all kind of spiritual to a certain level.
Yeah.
But for you personally, how did you get into that journey? I know everyone kind of finds it at like a different stage in life and kind of goes through something different that gets them leaning towards spirituality. So what was that for you?
So for me personally, like I grew up Catholic. We weren't super religious, but you know, like we practiced the Catholic traditions and stuff. But I think it started around probably like 5 years ago where I was coming out of a relationship, and it was a good relationship, but also I was young and I found myself relying on him for my happiness. And it got to a point where when the relationship ended, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. And I felt very just like disconnected from everything. Yeah. And so I kind of took that step forward to look inward and focus on myself and like figure myself out and take that time. And then that's kind of when I started meditating, getting more into yoga. And then I became a yoga instructor and been following, you know, certain steps throughout that. Yeah. It's been good.
Yeah, and I think that's like a big point too with regards to like relying on others for your happiness, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like at some point we all kind of do that. It doesn't like in a relationship or like sometimes even in friend groups.
Yeah,
like, it could happen,
100%.
right? Like with your best friend. There's a lot of like, you'll see, you know, like high school even after, and it's like best friends for life. And it's like usually 2 girls or guys and they do everything together.
Yeah.
And it's like vibes. We all had friends like that. I think we still do, but it's just setting that limit where it's like you're still your own person.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why during that time, it was kind of like we did everything together, but it was also I wasn't my own person like outside of that relationship.
Yeah.
And I noticed like things about myself where I'm very, I don't know, like adaptable.
Yeah.
Like when I'm hanging out with somebody, like I don't want to say like a people pleaser, but like adaptable, but like I'm very easygoing in a sense where like to a default where we would be doing things and like I didn't necessarily want to do it, but we would just do it anyways because like, you know, he wanted to or they wanted to or whatever it was. And so I kind of realized that I need to, you know, hold my ground in who I am and do the things that I want to do and pursue that while also being able to, you know, meet somebody else's needs and, you know, like get along with them, do things with them without losing myself in the process. And I think that was like a huge learning experience for me.
No, for sure. And I feel like that's relatable for a lot of people because it's like, I kind of like what I went to like what I said in my last episode where it's like, you love yourself first and then you can love everyone else. Because if you don't, I feel like it's kind of that same situation where it's not bad to be a people pleaser, but it's within limits, you know?
Yeah,
like you don't want to get caught always saying yes because you don't want to get someone mad or like doing something because they want to do it. It's like standing up for yourself as well. You know, like, hey, let's go skydiving. And it's like, if you're not down, you know, say you're not down.
Exactly.
So no, that's huge. And I feel like that's a big lesson that now you'll carry with you as you get older and like, you know, continue on with. And that you can also share the experience with others, like with you guys and even your friends.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I'm sure it like taught you valuable lessons as well, right?
100%. Like they, like shout out to my best friend Alex, but she's been there for me through like thick and thin, and she knows me like to my core.
Yeah.
You know, she's one of those people that like really, really knows me, and she knows when like, you know, I'm kind of veering off track, or if like I'm doing things that I wouldn't normally do, and you know, she'll kind of like put me like in my place.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, yo, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you don't do that, or you don't like that. Like, you know, hold your ground, like stay true to who you are, and don't let those, you know, the fear of upsetting another person, or the fear of them, you know, reacting in a certain way, you know, stop you from continuing to be yourself and doing the things that you want to do.
That's huge.
Yeah.
By the way, Alex is a real one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, solid. Alex, you're on the pod. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's very special, you know, like having someone there outside, let's say like your boyfriend or your parents, that keeps you going. And usually it is a best friend most of the time who knows you like the back of their hand, same way you know her. So she can help you like kind of stay on that track. Even sometimes it takes like, you can catch yourself being off track, but you need someone else to say like, hey, Aless, like go back the other way a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's huge because I don't know, I don't know if this happened, but maybe coming out of that relationship, it also helped to maybe strengthen your friendship as well.
Oh yeah.
Because she was
100%.
by your side, right? So I think that's also a big thing. Like friendships also kind of grow when you go through tough times. So do relationships, obviously.
Yeah.
But in those like tough moments, it's always like that best friend that you can lean on that really helps carry you through. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
And then I guess like to touch on spirituality, like I know for me it was like same thing. I grew up Catholic, and like for us, like we go to church, like we go to church every Sunday, and I believe in God 100%. Like I still turn to him and all that. But even with like meditating, like I meditate every night now, and you learn a lot about even something like chakras, something I was not awakened to until like I met my acupuncturist. And he really just explained how your body is made up of these like basically 7 energetic balls, if you want to say.
No, it's true.
And when one of them is off or low or not running, like you can really feel it. And the more you pay attention to it, the more you meditate, you can feel when you're off. It's such a weird thing to explain to someone that like doesn't understand it, but when they grasp it, they'll say to you like, holy, like it's mind blowing.
It is. It's like life changing, understanding like your body, where you hold certain energy, where you even hold trauma too. Like it's crazy. Like all like, you know, you'll feel it in your shoulders. You'll like feel tense, and like your body will ache in certain areas, and like pay attention to those things. Like your body is like your guide. How you physically feel also relates to like mentally what you're thinking, like what you're doing. And like I think it's just becoming aware in general of yourself.
100%. And raising that awareness, and like your relationship did that for you. So I think it's a big thing. Like even if you're someone that, let's say, maybe feel like you can't meditate, don't feel like you have to go in there and close your eyes and meditate for an hour. Start small, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20. There's guided meditations on YouTube. There's so many ways to do it. I know it's hard for people sometimes because it is tough. Like the first few times you have these thoughts going by and you're like, you close your eyes and you're thinking of a million things. But once you get it, it is life-changing. You'll notice like even just your aura of when you meditate all the time and when you walk around, things around you are moving different. The people you attract to you are different. So that could be something too, where it's like you came out of the relationship, you got into spirituality, and now you're also like moving different as a person. So 100%. Who you attract is like more in line with that. You know?
No, I completely agree with that. Like there's been times where I've just kind of done things just because I love to do it. And the people that I meet, like when you're truly being yourself and truly just doing something strictly for the purpose of you're passionate about it, or you just want to do it because it fuels your soul, you will meet such amazing people and you'll attract the energy that you give out. So when you're in that, you know, state of like peace and like at one with yourself, and you're just doing things because, you know, it feels good for you, then, you know, good things will happen.
It's true. It's true. She said it. It's true. How would you say, actually, this is something I've wondered. yoga, obviously it's about stretching and stuff, but
Yeah.
I've also heard like it's a lot about breath work. And
Mhm.
how would you tie, or how does it tie to spirituality? Like, does it in any sort of way?
It does. It definitely does. And I think the breath work also has a lot to do with like bringing your body to a state of like relaxation or peace. Like,
Yeah.
it depends on like what style of yoga you're doing, but you know, certain breath work is used to warm up the body. Like, you want to get your muscles, you know, warm enough so that when you begin stretching, you're not going to feel any pain or like aches anywhere. But also, the breath work is so important because when you're focusing on your breath, your mind is strictly focused on that.
Right.
You're not thinking about every other thing that
Yeah.
you could be thinking about in that moment. And so that's why it's huge, even for like anxiety or depression. Like, they call it also like chest breathing, where
Okay.
you're not breathing from your diaphragm, you're breathing like in your chest. So you feel like very, not even like, not lightheaded, but your breath is so high that you almost feel like you're like,
You panic.
yeah,
Yeah.
you start panicking. So they teach you to like, you know, obviously straighten your back, relax your shoulders, and breathe from your diaphragm, because that is where like your energy will flow through. Like, you will be able to take full, deeper breaths and like keep your body a little bit more relaxed, along with like your heart rate too. Like, so many different like benefits to it, but
For sure. No, for sure.
I don't even think I answered about spirituality, but like,
No, but I was going to tie it into like,
yeah.
it kind of goes with meditating.
Yeah.
Because actually one of the best ways to focus is if you're laying there or sitting, whatever you feel best, focus on your breath. Like, I usually try to envision my breath literally moving up my body and coming around and exiting through your feet. You always exit through your feet. And that helps because you are focusing on something, but it's actually your breath to calm you down.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like everyone's kind of been in a position where you're out or something's happening, you feel panicked. Someone near you is just saying, breathe.
Yeah.
But they don't mean like, like,
Yeah,
they're
no,
like,
never to do that.
breathe, you know? And within a few seconds, you'll notice your body calms down. Like, I even
Mm-hmm.
did it in sports, like in soccer. I would,
Yeah.
if it got to a point where I overworked myself and I felt so panicked, just sit and
Mm-hmm.
just focus on your breath, because your breath ultimately has, I don't want to say control over your body, but it controls your energy in the state that you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, when you're always in a high vibration, you're breathing nicely.
Yeah.
When you're in a very low state of any of like a negative emotion,
Mm-hmm.
your breath is tense or it's aggressive or you feel like, I don't know, like you feel anxious, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Very
that
true.
that helps too. And I feel like it's easier if you practice it all the time because you're doing it through yoga as well.
Yeah.
So for you, it's not something you really need to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You probably just do it naturally, right?
Yeah. Like, it gets to that point, but obviously after like lots of practice and like, I feel like meditating in general, at the beginning, it was so hard for me to sit down and like not like want to like fidget with something or like not let certain thoughts come to my head. But it was important to let those thoughts come to my head, but not like let it take up too much time there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, the thought comes, you whatever, experience the thought, you experience how you feel when you think that, because thoughts correlate with feelings. So when you're thinking things in the past, whether it's, you know, it like gives you feelings of anger or sadness or whatever it is, you like embody that. And so you want to like take that thought, experience it, and then let it pass. Like, let it move on.
Yeah.
Put it behind you and continue to focus on your breath. Bring yourself back into, you know, a calm, relaxed state, I guess I would say, or like a focused state. And it does take like a lot of practice though, because especially today, I feel like everybody is kind of, I don't know, I just feel like now everybody's minds are constantly going at like insane rates.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not
100%.
one thing you're thinking about, it's the next. And, you know, it ties into what, like, I think it was like on your last episode, like, you know, talking about what people think about you, looking for validation. Like, those are thoughts that go through majority of people's heads. Because we were never taught how to, you know, just be enough with who we are. We always had to look for that, whether it's from your parents or a teacher or something. You were always looking for that, you know, satisfaction of, okay, you did something well.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, you know, we're experiencing all these thoughts at like an insane rate, where I feel like meditation and yoga and simply just bringing yourself to a peaceful state, whether you're looking at a sunset or the moon or the stars, it's like that initial, like, okay, you know, you're just looking there and no thoughts are coming to your head. You're in a state of peace. And I think that's super important.
No, it is for sure. And I think it's you kind of want to try to find time to do that at some point in your day.
Yeah.
I know even like it's easy to fall off. I fall off sometimes.
No,
like
me
you
too.
get super busy and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, but it's the best way to kind of just bring yourself back to level. Like even me, like the last week and a half, I've been going like overdrive, like to the point where like, I don't know my head from my ass. Like I'm just like, oh my, okay, I have to do this, you know, like
No, I know.
I'm leaving for a trip Thursday. So like I'm trying to get everything prepared. And today I went for an acupuncture treatment. I do acupuncture, you do too. And it really helps. It's like kind of like meditating, but more direct with your energy. So it helps realign you well. And I left and I was like, oh, like, it's like, I just felt like this ball that I've been carrying, this weight just got released.
Yeah.
Now I'm like myself again. Cause it's not good to work overdrive all the time. And that's where kind of meditating helps. Let's say if I hadn't fallen off and I was doing my nightly meditations, that would have kept me calm for the next day. But instead I was going to sleep anxious, waking up anxious because I was thinking of the million things that I have to do.
Yeah.
So it's like you're never at that state. And it's something that honestly it was tough to grasp at first. I like truthfully, I want to say before I got into like meditating and all that. So maybe around the same time I was in third year. So like maybe 5 years ago, whatever it is. Before that, I would look at people that would meditate and like do all these things and I'd be like, oh, they're weird. Or like,
No,
they're like,
yeah, it's
they're
true.
this. Like you always have a comment to say about someone, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, actually they're on it. Like,
Yeah.
and then I like brought it to the attention of like my family where it's like, hey, just because you meditate, it doesn't mean you're XYZ. It's just a way of controlling your energy and yourself. And you notice you operate differently. And now like my dad incorporates it. Like my mom wants to. And like even my brother is like open to it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, holy. And I don't know like if it's just me, but have you noticed throughout the time of COVID, so the last, I want to say 2 to 3 years, a lot of people have become woke.
Yeah.
Like people are posting about meditating and spiritual quotes and comments and pages that I would never think would do it. And I think that's an amazing thing.
Me too.
Because it shouldn't be something that is looked down upon just because I know sometimes people relate it to a certain religions.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, though. It's about just you and your energy. And everyone has energy in them. We're all kind of the same that way.
Yeah, we're all connected.
Yeah. So it's like, why not do something that'll help you?
Exactly.
And going back to something of like looking into a sunset or looking at the stars, I feel like that's so important. And that's something that I think every human, like you put them in front of a gorgeous sunset or like a starry night, like extreme starry night.
Yeah.
There's no way you're telling me that you're bored or you're over it. Like you're in awe.
Yeah.
Even just being in nature, you're in awe, you know? And if you are like, sure, bored, I would suggest like breathe. Like don't think of the situation like, oh, I have nothing to do right now. I'm just out here like in the skies. Like breathe and really take in what you're seeing and you will actually feel an energy and a radiant energy that makes you feel so good. Like so good.
Yeah.
And then you won't, and that's why you won't want to leave. And if you notice, if you're mesmerized, let's say by a sunset, half the time, like you don't want someone to talk to you.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay. Like,
you're like, hold on.
Let me
I'm
enjoy this
watching.
moment and then we'll talk in like 5 minutes, you know?
It's like the little things like that. And I think they're so important. And it doesn't take much. Like there is, if you actually stop like for a second, like just stop and look around you, you will find beauty everywhere. You just need to like really, I don't want to say like ground yourself because not everybody like fully understands that. But like, you know, just take that moment, find, you know, your peace and just kind of like look around you and you will find like the beauty in everything. Even though like this world nowadays, it seems really, excuse my French, like really fucking shitty.
That's true.
But if you really do try, you will see it. And I think it's important to understand that because like I feel like I've been saying a lot, like find your peace, like find peace within yourself. And a lot of people relate peace with, you know, fixing all of their external problems. They think that their life is going to be so peaceful when everything around them is, you know, perfect and no problems and nothing. There will always be external problems. How you handle them and how you react to things will determine how at peace you really are. Like, it's not about fixing everything on the outside. It's about fixing everything on the inside. Yeah. Because once you're like good and you know how to like calm yourself down or bring yourself, you know, back up to like a happy state, nothing external will, you know, kind of bring you down back to that like really low level. Because if you're like secure in yourself and like you kind of are aware of, you know, how you feel or whatever it is, all these external problems won't seem as bad as they are. And like you'll have like all these tools to handle them like so much more effectively. I think.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
That was just like that was a fact. No, but it's honestly like I can't say anything else besides like that's so true.
Yeah.
Because when you start getting in that state, you'll notice, like she was saying, like your reaction to things are different. Like let's say this water bottle falls on my foot. If I do it right now, I'd be like, oh, but whatever, you know, like life moves on.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. If this water bottle fell on my foot like 3 days ago, I'd want to put it through a wall because I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. And what about like, but it's actually not the biggest deal. It's just being cognitive of like what you're putting your attention to as well. And it's like, for example, I had a habit at one point of like, if I'm walking and I stub my toe, I would like text my best friend and be like, oh my God, I just stubbed my toe. And it's like, you know how much energy I just put to that? Like, I just wasted time to go out of my way to tell someone I just stubbed my toe. Yeah. And it's like, why? Like, was it really the end of the world? I'm continuing my day. Exactly. Coffee fell on me. Okay, I get it. It's shit. No one wants it to happen. Yeah. But let's move on. The world didn't end. The day's not ending. Like, and obviously it's tough. Like, I had a day last week when like consecutively, from the moment I opened my eyes, things were going south. And it's easy to explode. It's very easy. Yeah. I did explode. But it was also because I wasn't in a calm state. That whole week I was in overdrive. So that was like, you know, when they say the cherry on top? Yeah. And I just lost my mind. But in hindsight, when I look back, I wasted so much of my energy losing my mind that it wasn't even like, it didn't solve anything. It wasn't worth it. Yeah. Like it just... I just got mad for no reason, basically, because then at the end of the day, I still had to deal with the situation. I still had to deal with the problems. And this goes back to my last podcast where it's like disappointment. You sulk in it or you learn and move on from it. Exactly. Okay, maybe I'll learn if this falls on my foot, push it back on the table next time. Or like, don't walk so close to the table to stub my toe. Yeah. Coffee spills on me. Like, obviously there's accidents, but maybe it's like, I don't know, I hit it by accident when I was talking. Like, I don't know. No, so it's just, you can always learn instead of just instantly getting mad. Yeah. And I think it's very hard, and we all still do it, because in today's day and age, our minds are so consumed, like you were saying, with so much. You turn on the news. First of all, guys, straight fact, I hate the news. I hate the news. Me too. I love it. It's great. I don't know if you noticed, the Weather Network these days also been super off. Yeah. But like super off. They didn't say
it was going to rain today. It's like freaking thunderstorm. It's like thunderstorm.
Like, okay. But yeah, so I don't watch the news. I watch the news when I actually don't know when. I think if like people have it on, and I'll watch it if, you know, if you're in a waiting room somewhere, he puts it on. Yeah. And I'll tell you why I don't watch the news. Maybe not all the reasons, but I'll tell you some of the reasons. All right, let's hear it. That because it's all negative. Yeah. When does the news tell you something positive? Something to bring up your day? I'm going to straight call it. During COVID, all the news would tell you is numbers, cases, who's dying. Yeah. Where's the information about what you can do, the vitamins you can take, stay outside, get healthy, go for walks? It was like always masks, this, that. Yeah. And I understand we should know that. We should be aware of that. Like, I'm not saying don't do it, but at the same time, maybe balance it. Yeah. And if you notice in a day-to-day, every single time, there's always something on the news that's negative. Almost all of it's negative. Yeah. I don't know anything that's positive. Canada Day, you'll talk about celebrations. It'll talk about like, oh, let's say Nathan Phillips is doing a celebration. I don't know if they did, but I'm just saying they're doing a celebration. That'll clip for like 3 seconds. And then it's, oh, there was a shooting. Oh, there was this guy and this guy and this person. And I'm like, okay, so people that sit there and watch the news 24/7, without noticing, you're subconsciously becoming very agitated. Yeah. Because all you're taking in is negativity. Negative energy. 24/7. Yeah. And the news is great to fill you in for like a few seconds. Yeah. You know, like 6 o'clock news, catch up on what happened. You know, it's great in that sense. But to sit there, like I know people that sit there and just watch it. Even during COVID, just would watch the number roll up. Yeah. How? I would mentally, no. I would go crazy.
I would too. I couldn't do
you
that.
wonder why so many people though become so, and then they lash out. Let's say if you cut them off when you're driving, or something small happens, or they stub their toe, and they lose their mind. But it's not because they stubbed their toe, because they were sitting there filling their brain with the fact that this count was going up.
Yeah.
You know, that's a whole other thing. But like,
yeah, no, but it's
you
true.
know,
It's true.
So
like you gotta be very aware of what you're surrounding yourself with,
and
like
putting your energy towards.
yeah, because it's not a bad thing to obviously stay updated, know what's going on in the world. Like obviously we're not saying that, but at the same time, when you're constantly seeing all the wrong and all the negative things that are going on, and to be honest, like in my personal opinion, like in regards to the news, for some reason it's just, it doesn't sit right with me. Like I feel like they have so much control over a certain narrative that like us watching it, us viewers, we really don't have any idea what the fuck is going on. Like we really don't.
It's true.
You know, and so me watching it, like I always take it with a grain of salt, because you never truly know what is going on unless you're there, unless you're witnessing it yourself, who said what, or this happened, or whatever it is. You don't truly know. So obviously, yes, some information is facts and whatever it is, but I always get that feeling where I'm like,
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
And I even saw it. I went to the trucker convoy. Yeah, I'm exposing myself. I went to the convoy and I cheered those truckers on. And when I was there, CP24 was there, and everyone was getting mad because they weren't showing all like the good that was happening. Yeah. They literally, guys, walked past everybody, went to one section where it looked like it was havoc, and then turned the camera on. And someone went to ask the guide, like, hey, but you're not getting everything else that's great. Like there's kids like singing, dancing, whatever. Nothing. They got the one clip. And I remember seeing it on the TV after and telling my family, like, guys, that's not a representation of what happened. You know, I just think it's controlled. Media's controlled. Even social media's controlled. They're talking about passing a bill. I don't know if they passed it. I don't know too much information on it, but like it's going to censor the internet and like what you put out there and when you talk about politics and stuff. And you know, I'm all sure. I don't want to say I'm for it, but sure. But it's like also, you know, I just think everyone needs to stay awake and believe in what you believe in 100%. Like you're always entitled to your own opinion. You're always entitled to what sources you go to look for. Let's say what you believe is to be the truth, because like what you believe is truth could be different from what I believe is truth. Exactly. And what you guys think is the truth. So it's like, obviously do what you're comfortable with. But I want to say like, even in the last few years with COVID, as I was saying, people have become woke, and a lot of people have been seeing a lot of truth about power and control and money. Yeah. And I'm not trying to hint at anything with that, but it's just, it's like, you know, so yeah. So that's what I got to say about
100%
that situation.
That's
it's yeah, we'll get into that in another podcast. Maybe a little later.
We'll save that for
another time. We'll save it for another time. But yeah, so even with energy, like the music you listen to, the TV shows you watch, everything, the conversations you have with your friends, like even if you don't notice, even if it's the radio on in the background, like if it's playing like some negative stuff, and honestly half the music I listen to is negative. It's always swearing. And I still listen to it. I'm not saying I don't do this.
What's your favorite like genre of music? Would you say? Or maybe not genre, but like what do you listen to personally?
To be honest,
I'm now the host of this podcast.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say, tap in, give her the headphones.
No, but actually, though, like,
honestly, guess, because I think I've told you this. I get into my car. What's the first thing I put on? This is a fun fact for all you guys. I actually don't think you know this.
Oh my God, you're gonna embarrass me on the pod.
You wanted to be host.
Okay. I think that you listen to country?
No, Spanish. I'm not Spanish, but I'm going to make that clear. I wish I was, and I think I was in a past life, because my love for that culture is so strong. Like I took Spanish classes in high school. Like my godparents are Argentinian. Like I have a lot of Spanish people around me, and I love them. I love it so much. I'm half Italian, half Middle Eastern. I'm half Armenian. So European, Middle Eastern mix there.
You got that?
But you got that? Note that. I'm going to have a trivia one day. But I listen to Spanish. And you know what? I don't understand what they're saying, but the vibes of the music just gets you in such a good mood. And I got like all my friends on it. Like I think all you guys have my Spanish playlist. I know even like
wait, I think I do.
yeah. I know I like at some point
I'm an
everyone's
idiot.
kind of asked me like for that playlist just because it's vibey music. You're by a pool, you're in the car, and sometimes even when I'm like super mad, I'll put it on. I put it on all the time. But like even when I'm mad, most people go to like anger, you know, like rap or heavy. And it's like everyone has their music they go to. For me personally, it's Spanish. What's yours?
Probably country.
Country's a vibe. I think country gives that same vibe where it's like the words. Actually, one thing about country music is I respect the lyrics.
Yeah.
Country is not about like sex, drugs, money, influence,
I feel
all
like
that.
it's like a nicer version of rap.
It
almost.
is. It
You
pretty
know what
much,
I mean?
I think it pretty much is. Like, it's all about like
They're still
love.
talking about like women and love and
but in a different way. It's more
whatever,
like
but-
whiskey by the fire
Yeah.
and like, I don't know
It's
what
just
else
more
they say,
like,
but
I don't know, it's like a little bit more like romanticized and also like, what's not chivalry,
chivalry. Like guys are chivalrous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, chivalry. It
That's
is. It is about chivalry.
You know what
I
I mean?
gotta
Like
say.
it just has that like vibe to it where every time I put it on, I'm just in a good mood.
Yeah. And
Like,
I have to
that's it.
say,
Oh,
like,
God.
country bars, a time. Like,
I
the
still
first
need to
time
go
I
to
ever,
one.
yeah, I'm going to take you to Rock and Rollers.
'Kay.
The first time I ever went to one, guys, I despised country music. Like, my ears would burn when I would hear it. And my friends dragged me there. And I had the time of my life. Like, I rode the bull, like, and it's because, though, like, I think it's just the people that go to these bars are just so willing to have fun. I was always a bar person growing up. Like, I never liked clubs. And the reason was people in bars were always more fun. When you're in a club, it's everyone's trying to act a certain way, bottle service. Everyone's like, look at the money I got. Like, and then you feel like all these people are staring at you. You're trying to get into a booth. Like, it's very different. A bar is so chill. People are coming up to you, like dancing, good vibes, you know? So my personal preference was always bars. So I think that.
Yeah. No,
That's
I agree
why.
with you. Yeah.
But yeah.
Country music. It's
But
way
see,
too
even
good.
that's like putting your energy. So going back, like even if you leave country in the background, like subconsciously you're picking up what it's saying, but it's not so much of anything that's negative, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. Even like having the TV on or like, I don't know, anything that makes noise that's on in the background, you don't notice, you know, we call it background noise,
Yeah.
but you're actually subconsciously
yeah.
taking in what's happening. And I think that's a big rude awakening. I mean, listen, I'm not no professional. It happens all the time. I'll play like rap. I love rap
Oh,
too.
yeah, no, like
Like I play all that stuff, but it is something like if you can be aware of it, that's a big change to make.
yeah,
You know?
it definitely is. And like, who cares what people think about the music that you listen to? Like, I love listening to old school music. Everything my parents grew up listening to.
Euro.
Absolutely love it. Like, they don't make music like that anymore, and it's sad. And I absolutely love listening to it so much. And like, I'll jam out with my parents. We'll have a great time, and it just makes me feel like I'm I'm on top of the world. Like, I feel so happy when I listen to certain music. Like, I think I was listening to like, what's that song? Careless Whisper.
I don't know
who it is. Scratch that, cut that out.
That's awkward. Cut. No, but like it's true. That music is all like good vibes.
Yeah.
You know, like dancing, you can dance to it. Like a lot of the music, if you guys go to the club these days,
Yeah.
it's all like head bobbing. It makes you want to drink, to be honest, because it's all like what are you gonna do? It's very rare unless it's like reggaeton or something fun.
Yeah.
Or like
It's
the
true.
old throwbacks here and there, like Backstreet Boys comes on, you're like screaming, you know. But other than that, it's all. Whereas I think our parents back in the day, if you listen to their music, it's more vibey. Like they've made comments to me all the time, like, "How do you guys dance when you go out?"
No, it's
And I'm like,
true,
it's true. Like
it's
you know,
changed a lot, but also like
Just breaking my microphone.
sorry. I feel like I'm so nervous about breaking this microphone. I forgot what I was gonna say. Something about the music. Oh, like how we can't dance to it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't dance that shit.
Oh, guys, fun fact: the Canada Day bucket hat I had on, Alessia gave it to me. She had a Canada Day party.
It was great. It was a great time.
I was celebrating being a Canadian, man.
Yeah.
Isn't that something we're all so proud of?
Yeah. Never been happier.
Okay.
It dries into you,
Okay, I got
Sorry.
a question. I end
Yes.
all pods with this question for my guests.
Okay.
What's something or what advice would you give your younger self?
Shit. Ooh. Okay. I feel like obviously for everybody it's different because we all experience different things
Yeah, of
growing
course.
up. But I think I would probably tell my younger self, probably not to take things so personally.
Okay.
Like just in terms of, like I realize now that majority of the time that somebody's being, rude to you or mean, or they make a comment or they react in a certain way, majority of the time they're just projecting their own anger or something that had happened 3 days before, whatever it is, and not to take everything to heart. Because I feel like when I was younger, I would like absorb every like negative like feeling or comment and just like take it all in. And I wasted so much time like fixating on things that I had said or situations and how I acted because I never wanted to make anybody, upset or whatever. And I'd be so hurt. And now I'm like, okay, true. Like, think what you want.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Like, I respect it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good with that.
Okay.
You guys don't know what I would tell my younger self. Maybe I'll say it at the end of the season.
Do it.
I always ask people, but I don't say.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I'll say it at the last episode of this season.
All right.
Well, thank you for taking the time and coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Alessia told me I just knocked something off her bucket list, being on a Million Voices podcast. I'm going to plug that in there. Anyways, guys.
It's been my dream. I'm so honored to be here today.
When she told me, I blushed the first time. Okay, like, subscribe, share, save, follow, comment, push notifications, the bell thing on Instagram. Click that thing too. Anyways, I appreciate the support. If you guys, like I said at the last one, have anything specific you want me or any of my guests to touch upon, let me know. I hope you guys took something from this podcast. You got to know a little bit more about like me, and I feel like as I'm doing this, about the people I surround myself with. Yeah. Because honestly, my first few guests are like my best friends. So I think it's a cool way for you guys to also, just get to know me and like my life in a different way rather than me just talking about it.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That's all I can say. So ciao for now and catch you on the next episode.
Bye.